Howdy doodly, my name is Sapphire Lazuli and welcome back to Jammin Gaming. This week I've got something a little bit more fun. I've got Pokemon Legends Arceus. I just want to get straight into it as well. So, gaming time? So this footage is a couple of days old. I'm re-recording the chatting for this, so it's a little bit less chaotic than what it originally was, and also I don't have a capture card, so all of this is going to be recorded from my camera pointing at my TV. I hope it turns out well. I haven't checked it out yet to see whether it did, so we'll see. It should be fine. I hope you're enjoying the jamming as well. It's supposed to be a little bit reminiscent of the Celestica Town theme that plays, but obviously copyright reasons I can't play the exact Celestica Town theme, so it's a little bit different, but it takes inspiration, which I think is fun. It's Legends Arceus, it's out, and the question on everyone's mind is it any good? Because Pokemon has been struggling with that a little bit lately. Not everyone loves Sword and Shield, and even less people liked Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I thought they were kind of fun, but that's mainly because I really love Diamond and Pearl. But Legends Arceus, that's a whole new beast. And is it any good? Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. I've been playing so much of this game and I've been loving every single second of it. Which is why I want to talk about today. Is this a review? Is this just me rambling about my thoughts? That's up to you to decide. I guess you have to watch the video and find out. As I say, the game is fantastic. Right off the bat, you jump in and it is already something new and fresh and exciting. You speak to Arceus at the beginning of the game instead of one of the Pokemon professors. It almost feels like the start of the game feels a little bit like Mystery Dungeon, because like you wake up on the beach, you are in this world that is different from the one that you're used to. You speak to God at the beginning, which I presume is who you speak to at the beginning of Mystery Dungeon. I don't know. I don't research these videos. It's got a very Mystery Dungeon type feel, which is awesome because I love the Mystery Dungeon games. Mystery Dungeon games are so much fun. It has a little bit of a slow start getting out of Jubilife Village. Don't get me wrong, Jubilife Village is really fun, and if I didn't know what was coming after Jubilife Village, it wouldn't have been as slow, but like going through Jubilife Village and going through all of the tutorials and whatnot, it's a little bit slow, but it's okay, because once you're out, the world is open. Once you finish your first trial and you're allowed to explore the Obsidian Fieldlands, you can do whatever you want. You can't go past a certain bridge, you have to meet a requirement to go over that bridge, but you can pretty much go everywhere else in the Obsidian Fieldlands, and you can catch a whole bunch of Pokemon before you get that rank to go over that bridge, which is so cool. The world is just open for you to do whatever you want. It's very like Great Plateau, Breath of the Wild. You know, you look off to your left and you see there's a big field. You wonder what Pokemon are out there. Go for a wander. See who's out there. See who you can find. And while you're out there, you stumble across all sorts of things. And while you're out there, you stumble across all sorts of really cool Pokemon just in the first area, which never happens in a Pokemon game. I found myself exploring the Obsidian Fieldlands, which again is the first area in this game, for like over 15 hours before I finally decided it was time to fight the first boss. And at no point did I ever think I was bored, at no point did I ever feel like the game was getting stale. I was just exploring. Every single time I thought I was done, I would stumble across a new rare Pokemon that I just had to catch. And then once I caught the rare Pokemon, I would think, well, I've got this one. What if I can find an alpha now? And then I'd go on the alpha hunt. And then I would go off, also alphas are another thing we'll talk about in a little bit, but I would go off exploring a little bit and I'd find Lake Verity, or I'd find, is it Lake Verity or is it Lake, I don't know which lake it is, but I think it's Lake Verity. I'd find the lake, or I'd find, you know, a new cave, or I'd find all sorts of things that I just would never have imagined I'd find in a Pokemon game, and it was just so much fun. I was just mesmerized by all these new mechanics, all these new things to do. Finding Pokemon is not just a matter of seeing a cool guy, it's a matter of, you know, getting to know that Pokemon, working out what I have to do to catch it? Do I have to sneak up on it? Do I have to fight it? Do I have to just run up to it and throw a ball like a Bidoof? And then once I've caught it, it's about studying it and finding out what more I have to do to fill out the Pokedex entry. Do I have to feed it? Do I have to see it use a certain type of move? Do I have to catch it without being caught? That's really fun. I thought it would get boring after a while. I thought the new capture mechanics might not be as interesting as we thought they were going to be, but they are. They add so much to the game and it's so much fun. As I say, 15 hours in just the first area of the game. I've never done that in a game, especially not a Pokemon game. So by the time I got to the first boss, I already had a pretty cool team that I was really enjoying, but I found myself switching that team repeatedly. I was always trying out new Pokemon because the one thing that this new capture mechanic does is it gets you interested in Pokemon that you're not usually that interested in. It makes you care about catching Pokemon. It makes you care about, you know, trying out new things, and there's a new move system which lets you try out new moves all the time without having to, you know, completely forget them. There's so much, it's so much more experimental, which is so much fun. I keep saying that, but it's just so much fun. And then there's the alphas, as I mentioned before. The alphas are they're just a much more interesting and fun mechanic than Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing ever was. Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing, they were definitely cool, but alphas are they're more fun. It feels more grounded, you know. I see a big Pokemon and it's cooler than the regular Pokemon, but it's not this massive event, and it's not just I can only use it as a Gigantamax in a gym battle. I get to actually use this Pokemon as I find it out in the wild, and I get to interact with the big Pokemon. It feels more rewarding, especially because they're really tough to fight. You go into this first area and you've got like level 5 Pokemon, and there's a level 40 Alpha Rapidash just around the corner, which, by the way, is huge. Alpha Rapidash is massive, and then regular Rapidash is just a horse, and that's awesome. Some of the alphas are not much bigger than the regular Pokemon at all, and then some of them are just insane, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's so cool. I love when I catch an alpha version of a Pokemon I already have, or a Pokemon I don't yet have, especially rare Pokemon. It just adds this new element to the game that it's really fun to interact with. Also on size, they render the size of Pokemon in the game. So if you have two Buizel that have different heights, if you look in their summary and it says that one of them is taller than the other one, that gets rendered out in the field. You can see that Pokemon is taller than the other one, or you can see that it's smaller than the other one. That's a really cool thing. A lot of people have issues with the graphics of this game. I'll admit, they're not fantastic. But where the graphical fidelity fails, I find that this game really excels in the minor details. You can tell there's a lot of care that was put into this game, as opposed to some other Pokemon games. But whilst it doesn't have the best graphics, and there are moments where the game admittedly looks pretty crappy, it has some really cool, charming details that just make up for it, make it still feel loved, which is everything for this game. Coming off of that is the animations. The animations, they're nothing groundbreaking, you know, they're not gonna change animation forever, but they are really nice. They're a lot better than they have been in a few previous Pokemon games, where in Sword and Shield, I found myself distracted by how empty the world felt and how dead the world felt because there was no voice acting, because the animations weren't fantastic in Sword and Shield. You know, you've just got like Hop's just going like this over and over and over again, and he doesn't really have much life to his face. Because of those poor animations, the lack of voice acting is really noticeable in Sword and Shield. But then in Legends Arceus, despite the fact that the game still has no voice acting, it feels alive. The characters feel real. I'm interested in them because they feel a lot more alive. I said that twice in a row, I believe. It's just because the animations are a little bit better. just a little bit. Some of them are pretty stale, like they are in Sword and Shield, but generally the animations are pretty good. The characters just move and act and react and emote in ways that are a lot more alive, for lack of a better word. And it makes a difference in this game. At no point do I ever feel like the game needs voice acting. It would absolutely benefit from it, but I don't feel like it's lacking voice acting. I feel like voice acting would just be another cool thing to add into the game. In fact, there are times, especially in the early game, that the game reminded me a bit of the Pokemon anime. And that is something I've wanted from a Pokemon game for years, since I was a kid. I think the most incredible thing for me about all of these thoughts that I've just spoken about the game is that these are all thoughts that I developed very early on. These are thoughts I developed within the first 15 hours of the game. I am now about 40 hours into the game, and I still think all of that. I haven't felt like the game's gone stale. I haven't felt like I'm starting to get bored. I haven't felt like the game has nothing new to throw at me. I'm not even nearly done with what I want to do with this game. I want to finish my Pokedex. I want to catch certain Pokemon. I want to do legendaries. I want to do all sorts of things. I want to go off and do all the side quests, because there's side quests in this game. There's side quests. I want to do so much, and I'm nearing the end of the main story, but I've got so much more to do, and it's still not stale. It has hooked me. I think it was around the 30-hour mark that I realized this game has hooked me like no other Pokemon game has. Well, not since probably Black and White, which was a very long time ago. Back then, when I played Pokemon games as a kid on my DS, I would get really hooked into them. I'd breeze through the story, and then I'd spend hours catching as many Pokemon as I could, getting all the legendaries, doing all the post-game stuff, especially in Black and White, doing all the post-game stuff. And I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver I played a lot of as well. I played a lot of Platinum. I have played Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire several times, but never right the way through, which I have Pokemon Emerald here, and I think I'm gonna do that soon, because I really should. But this game, it's hooked me like the old games have, and I've been dreaming of that for ages. As I say, I grew up playing Pokemon, and playing Legends Arceus feels like I'm finally seeing the Pokemon games that I had dreamed we would get in the future as a kid. Games that I thought probably weren't possible, but I thought would be really, really fun to play. I think lots of people are calling this the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon. And, yeah, but I just don't think that's... I think that's a bit much. See, Pokemon Legends Arceus, to me, feels like the next evolution of what Pokemon is. See, I played Diamond and Pearl as my first Pokemon games ever, and then I went back and played the GBA games and the Game Boy games, and I saw all those games growing up, played them, had lots of fun. Then I went on to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I started to see some of the 3D elements. I saw a revamping of what one of the older games was. I then went on to Black and White and saw some more 3D elements, saw some really cool post-game stuff, a really fun all-round game. Then I missed all of the 3DS games because I didn't have a 3DS growing up. But after that, I got Let's Go Eevee on the Switch, and I saw the new capture mechanics. I got to see the beginnings of Pokemon roaming out in the wild. There's like really cool graphics in Let's Go Eevee. I don't think people talk enough about how good the graphics were in Let's Go Eevee, but I got to see the beginnings of something new. And Sword and Shield came out, and ultimately hated it. Really disappointed me, but it had the wild area, and I got to see the beginnings. I got to see the what's the word I'm looking for? And proof of concept of what Pokemon could become. And then the DLCs for that came out, and I got to see more of a proof of concept of what Pokemon was about to become. And then finally, Legends Arceus came along, and the final evolution of this long build-up towards what we had all been asking for, been slowly trickling out from Let's Go Eevee, even been slowly trickling out from Black and White, through to Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu to Sword and Shield. Not Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, absolutely don't fit into this mold, but it slowly trickled out until we got to Legends Arceus, and we have this, I wouldn't say a final evolution, but maybe a middle evolution. I'm interested to see what the final evolution will be. I'm really interested to see where Pokemon goes from here, but this is an experience that is so refreshingly new. If you are on the fence at all about getting this game, absolutely delve into it. If you're a fan of Pokemon, do it. If you're someone who has never played Pokemon before, do it. This is something you should experience. I said the same thing about Breath of the Wild, that Breath of the Wild isn't one of my favorite games because it's this whole otherworldly experience that is something that everyone should go through. Everyone should experience. I think Legends Arceus is the same. So maybe it is the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon, because Legends Arceus, it's an experience that everyone should have. It is this really, really cool Pokemon game, and just a really cool game in general, which perhaps that's what's been lacking from Pokemon for a while. We've been so focused on getting really good Pokemon games, we haven't really been focusing on getting really good games, and Legends Arceus changes that. And I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy this turned out well. So those are my thoughts about Legends Arceus. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the tunes in the background. I had a lot of fun making that. If you're liking this game, let me know, because I am really interested to know what people are saying about this game. I really, really love this game, and I would love to know what other people's thoughts are about it. So do let me know what you're thinking about this. If you like the video, you can like. If you want to see more of what I got coming up, you can subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more of these Jammin gaming videos. I think I might try some jamming and drawing videos, which could be really fun. And I am hoping I'm going to have some covers up soon. I've got one I've been planning for a couple of weeks now. I just haven't really had time to record it. So hopefully that's going to happen soon. But there's only one way to find out. You can subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.